What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another movie review. And I'm going to be talking about Hereditary, and this is with spoilers. Hereditary is a horror film that came out this year in June, and I know I'm pretty late, but I just checked it out last night on Redbox. The movie runs about 2 hours and 7 minutes. It's directed by Ari Aster. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 89%, and I'll tell y'all what I give it at the end of this review. So the movie stars Toni Collette, Gabriel Byrne, Alex Wolff, and Millie Shapiro. And that's just to name the 4 main characters. The movie is based off a family who live in a suburban area in Salt Lake City, Utah, in a 3-story home, pretty much away from all civilization. Annie is the wife of Steve, and they have 2 children. The oldest is their son, Peter, and the youngest is their 13-year-old daughter, Charlie. And the movie starts off with a funeral of Annie's mother. I think her name is Ellen. She passed away during the time of her death. She was also living with them. And Annie gave a eulogy, and she mentioned that her mother was a very quiet woman. She was also private, and she suffered from anxiety. And so at the beginning of the movie, one of the opening scenes, you see someone chopping up a bunch of nuts. I don't know what that was all about in the beginning, but you'll find out in the end. Again, this movie review is with spoilers, so I'm going to kind of give it away if you don't want to know what happened. If you haven't seen a movie, but you plan on seeing, you might not want to watch this video. So yeah, so the little girl, Charlie, she had like a close connection with her grandmother. Her grandmother was ill, but they just didn't see her. They didn't know that, she would pass away so sudden. Like, her passing was so sudden. And her grandmother, just to kind of fast forward a bit, she was a part of a demonic cult. They worship the devil. And this cult goes back to their ancestors. So it's pretty much in a bloodline. And this what gives the movie the name Hereditary. And so the grandmother had like a personality that she knew how to manipulate. Her character was a very manipulative person. She had a stronghold on her daughter, and she just gave her like very ill advice. She was very too much involved, which caused division between them, like right before she passed away. So Annie, she went to a support group for people who had lost a loved one. And when she finally opened up, she let everybody know the relationship she had, her and her mother. And she just said how her mother was very controlling. Her mother even breastfed her daughter, Charlie. Her mother had even advised her at one point to have an abortion with Peter. And so she just wasn't a very good mother. She was an evil mother. She worshiped the devil. So the movie is pretty much just based on, the grandmother spirit was still in the house. And it's like her spirit was living through Charlie. And Charlie, she just had this creepy thing about her. She was a strange little girl. She also would make this popping noise with her mouth every now and then. She didn't talk much. She used to walk around with a drawing pad, and she just express herself through the drawing pad. She would only draw headless animals, or those are the type of figurines that she had around in her room. She was a strange little girl, and she was quiet. She was kind of to herself. She didn't associate with kids her age. She was, just like a homebody to say she's a 13-year-old girl. And so one night there's a freak accident when her and her brother left a party that her mother made her brother take Charlie to the party. I don't understand why would she make her son take her 13-year-old to a party where she know they're going to be drinking and smoking and, all type of things that teenagers do at that age. So Charlie have a peanut allergy, and this is how I found out and how it kind of, why they showed the peanuts at the beginning of the movie. Because Charlie, she ended up eating some cake at the party, and the cake had peanuts in it, and she got sick. Like, anyone who has a peanut allergy, that's nothing to play with. You have to be really careful with what you eat, because you can become really ill really quick, and you cannot breathe. And so Charlie went upstairs to where Peter was in the room. He was getting high with his friends, and she was like, "Peter, I can't breathe." And so he rushed, like going 1,000 miles to get her to the nearest emergency room. And she just couldn't breathe, and it just got worse. So she put her head out the window, and he swerved, trying not to hit a dog that just came out of nowhere in the middle of the road. And when she put her head out the window, her head hit a telegram pole, and her head came completely off her body. Like, that was one of the most horrific scenes in the movie. But the movie, it's a really, really good movie. I'm not going to go into too many more details about it. I think I've given enough away already, because yes, she's going to die in the movie. So the mother, Annie, she's dealing with the fact that her mother passed away and her daughter. And then her mother, she was a part of a demonic cult, which kinds of, the spirit is there. The spirit is still in the house, even though the mother is deceased. That's why she seen the mother in the room when she went to go look through her mother's belongings. And it was just a demon. It was just a demon entity. Eventually, the entity will end up taking over the home and getting inside of Annie and Peter. It will even kill Steve, and by setting him on fire, and he just burned to a crisp. And while Annie was running, she was chasing after Peter one night. He got away from her and locked himself in a basement. When he locked himself up in the basement, the spirits, they were all in there, like plain face coming towards him, and it was nowhere for him to go. He couldn't escape. So he just jumped to his death out of the basement window. When he died, you seen his spirit rise from his body. And then you see Annie floating into the treehouse, where all the other cult members just appeared in the treehouse. And they're worshiping a devil body. They worshiping a demonic symbol or body with Charlie's head on top of the thing. It just was weird to me. If anybody can explain this to me, please leave a comment down below, because that part of the movie, I was just lost. But Charlie ended up being like crowned the king of, I don't know, it's something dealing with Satan and demonic cults, and he ended up being a heir to the throne, and he become the next person that they will worship. And so that's pretty much how the movie ended. It was good. It kept me. It was scary. It was creepy. And like I say, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 89%, but I'll give it 100%. Because I haven't seen a horror movie like this in so long. I mean, it's up there with like The Conjuring. It's up there with movies like that. It's even up there with Paranormal Activity. Like those horror films, those are really good horror films now that they're making in the 2000s. So yeah, that pretty much concludes my review for Hereditary. I liked it. If you guys enjoyed this review, just give me a thumbs up, please, if you don't mind, and leave a comment down below. I'll be back with another movie review soon, and go check it out. You might enjoy it if you're a horror fanatic. I'm not really a horror fanatic as I used to be. Every now and then I'll go and check out a horror movie. I don't really watch horror movies as much as I do. Well, I'm not really into a certain type of movie. It's just that I haven't really been watching horror films as much as I used to, because I just haven't. Because the movies are pretty much so predictable nowadays. It's just like you already know what it is when you're looking at the previews. They show too much of the movie on the commercials, so it makes you not even want to watch it. But something like this, it threw you off because it was so much more to what you've seen during the previews and stuff. So this movie is really good, if you ask me. It's a really good horror film, well put together. So go check it out, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And I'll talk to you soon during the next movie review. Thank you for watching.